Kofi was a 19-year-old boy living in Accra, Ghana. He had grown up in a loving family with parents who worked hard to provide for him and his siblings. Kofi was a bright student and had big dreams of becoming a doctor one day. However, everything changed when Kofi met his new friend, Kwame. Kwame was a charismatic and confident young man who had just moved to Accra from the city of Kumasi. He was immediately drawn to Kofi's kind and gentle nature, and the two quickly became inseparable. At first, Kwame seemed like the perfect friend. He was fun-loving, outgoing, and always up for an adventure. But as time went on, Kofi started to notice that Kwame had a darker side. He would often talk about his love of drugs and how they made him feel invincible. Kofi was initially hesitant to try drugs, but Kwame's persistence eventually wore him down. They started with marijuana, but soon moved on to harder drugs like cocaine and heroin. Kofi was hooked from the very first hit, and soon found himself relying on drugs to get through the day. As Kofi's addiction worsened, his relationships with his family and friends began to suffer. His parents were worried sick about him, but Kofi just pushed them away. He stopped attending school, and his grades plummeted. Kwame, on the other hand, seemed to be thriving. He had a constant supply of drugs, and he would often brag about his connections with the local drug dealers. Kofi started to realize that Kwame was using him, but he was too far gone to care. One day, Kofi's parents had had enough. They staged an intervention, and Kofi was forced to confront the damage that his addiction had caused. He was devastated, but he knew that he needed help. With the support of his family, Kofi checked into a rehab center. It was a tough and grueling process, but he was determined to get clean. Kwame, on the other hand, disappeared from the scene. Kofi later found out that he had been arrested for drug trafficking. Kofi's recovery was long and difficult, but he eventually emerged from the darkness. He realized that he had been living in a nightmare, and that he had been lucky to escape. He vowed to never again let anyone or anything control his life. Today, Kofi is a successful young man who is studying to become a doctor. He is proud of the person he has become. And he is grateful for the second chance that he was given. He hopes that his story can serve as a warning to others about the dangers of drug addiction and the importance of seeking help when needed.